Would you like to find out about some top tips I have for buying and selling real estate while we are dealing with the coronavirus? Well, let's do it. Let's do it now. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a realtor right here in northern Utah. If this is your first time to my channel, start by hitting the subscribe button down below. Let's become a friend. Also, if you hit the bell notification, you'll be notified every time I release a new video, and that's every week. And if you're considering buying or selling real estate in Utah, call me, text me, shoot me an email, or even send a drone. On today's video, I'm going to give you my top tips and practices that I'm using in the current environment when you're buying or selling real estate and dealing with the coronavirus. Well, we're all dealing with the coronavirus in the United States. It's affected every business out there, and real estate is no different. It's been a busy week for me. It's very active. People are still buying and selling. So we've got to put some practices into place to try to protect us all from getting the coronavirus. So my first tip I'm going to give, whether you're a buyer or seller, schedule your showings appropriately. Make sure that there is limited people for each showing that you go to. And if you're a buyer, make less visits to homes. Sometimes a lot of this can be done from your own convenience of your own home. This past week, I've called many sellers agents and asked them for more photos, some video. Sometimes it might be measurements. You can't quite see what the dimensions of a room are, and I'll call and say, hey, could you measure this for us? That way we can determine, do we want to make a trip to the home, or can we just rule that particular home out? And we then do not have potential contact with other people. Okay, my next tip will be gloves. I've gone out and purchased gloves for all my buyers. Now, if you are a seller, I also recommend that you purchase a box of gloves and make it part of the listing at where anybody who views your home will be required to wear gloves. I make all my buyers wear gloves before they go into someone's house. Now that we have our gloves in place, I'm telling most of my sellers to open bedroom doors, closet doors, open them just a little bit, give access to the whole house before they leave the home. And then when I bring buyers in, I tell buyers to pretend like they're in like a china shop. Just look at the home and don't touch anything. And it can be accomplished very easily. If the doors are open, you can walk freely in and out of different rooms, and there is no need to touch anything in the home. So if you're a buyer, I've been recommending that we limit the amount of people that are going on a showing. Maybe mom, grandpa, granddad don't need to really see the home during this period that we're fighting the coronavirus. It would be great if we can limit the amount of people that go into someone's home. So get it down to maybe one particular house. If that's the home that you feel you're going to purchase, maybe then invite some of your other relatives to come and view the home. But in the meantime, if it's a few homes you're going to visit, maybe just a couple people come out to look at the home. And the next tip that I've got, if you're a seller, maybe insist on no food or drink being brought into your home. Also, if you're a buyer, it's a good idea that we try to avoid carpooling at the current time. Let's talk about documents. My preferred method during this time would be electronic signature. Get the documents via email and sign them electronically, and that will reduce your exposure from one person to another. So while we're talking about documents, it's very important, whether you're a buyer or seller, to put something in your contract with coronavirus. What happens if the title company is not available? What happens if the county recorder is shut down when you're supposed to close on your home? Or maybe the bank can't wire the money. They all need to be put into the contract so that the buyer and seller are aware of any kind of potential pitfalls that might occur during this time period. And I'd also recommend some of the things that we are seeing on the news. Hand sanitizer, washing your hands, social distance. Also, if you do feel like you're not feeling that well, maybe don't go looking at homes. Also, if you're a seller and you're feeling a little bit under the weather, maybe take your home off the market for the next week or so until you feel a little bit better. In conclusion, this is a very tough time in the United States, and I hope everyone stays safe. And if you have any kind of questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm glad to answer them. And I hope you view some of my other videos.